When I mention wrestling, what's the first thing that pops into your mind? I bet many of you think about men wearing spandex, grappling each other to assert dominance over each other. Or maybe it's the negative connotations of weight cutting, dehydration, and that whole aspect of the sport. Well, I'm here to tell you that's just the surface. And there's so much more to the sport than all of that. My name is Isaiah Christopher Blackwell. I used to be a wrestler back in high school. And I can tell you, without a doubt, that wrestling has made me a better person through the life lessons that I've learned in the sport. I started wrestling way back in 5th grade when my parents forced me to do the sport. And how did I cry and pout? I didn't want to do it, right? I thought, why do this physical activity? What's the point? I don't want to exercise and I see no fulfillment in it. I don't see how this is going to be beneficial for me. Why not just stay home, be lazy, and just do whatever? Right? So I cried and whined. Eventually, I started slowly enjoying the sport. I started getting fulfillment out of that sport. But I still did. Ironically enough, I didn't want to give my parents the satisfaction, so I still cried and whined. Well, 7 years later, finished the sport. I was able to place 5th in NCS, the North Coast section. And even though I didn't get to where I wanted to be, I still had fulfillment through the sport. I felt fulfilled. Disappointed, but fulfilled. Now, in all that time in wrestling, I've learned many life skills that have transferred over into my everyday life, into skills that I use in my current employment, in my current job, to make me a better employee and just be an outstanding worker. The 4 skills I'm going to be talking about right now is giving it your all, small things matter, and being able to bounce back. Those 3 lessons are highlights of what is taught through wrestling and being part of the sport. Starting off with giving it your all, right? You're not going to feel the best in your day-to-day life, right? And that is evident. Some days you're going to wake up sick, some days you're going to be tired going to work, but you have to give it your 110%. Because, you're not giving it your all and you consistently not do it, your boss is going to get rid of you, right? You're not going to grow, you're not going to succeed. You have to put everything behind what you do. And wrestling teaches the athletes this. It teaches us this through practice, right? We're going through high intensity practices and we have to just give it our all, even if we're not feeling well, right? When I'm weight cutting and I have to make weight, I don't feel good, right? And I feel down, I feel lousy, but I still had to give it my all so that I'm able to learn and take in and give out my best performance so that I can receive and reap the rewards that come with it. I'm going to read a quote from J'den Cox, who is a 2018 world champion. Taught me how to give all I have toward the things, activities, and people I love, even when it feels like I can't. Alright? Wrestling teaches the individual that even when you don't feel the best, when you don't feel like you can, to push past it. To push past what you perceive is your limit and to give everything you have, even when you're not feeling the best. Moving on to the next lesson that wrestling has taught is the small things matter, right? When we're learning a new move, just the little changes, the little details of how to throw a half, how to shoot on a leg, setting up a shot makes the differences. Because when you're in a high level intense match, the first person to make the little mistake and the other person to capitalize on that wins, right? To lower the amount of mistakes you make and to capitalize on the mistakes your opponent makes. Right? Those little things determine the match, determine how far and how much you succeed in life. And to back this up is from another wrestler, Kevin Gatson, a USA national team member. Small things matter. Take care of the little details. Without taking care of the details, you cannot develop and grow efficiently. That's self-explanatory, right? We can't take care of the small things or realize the small details, the little things that need to happen. We're not going to be able to move on and be efficient. Right? We can all picture the big goal, right? Getting this job, doing this, placing here. How do we get there? There's all these little steps you have to take, the little details you have to realize and go through to get to that big point. We have to learn. Right? When you're employed and working, right? That employer is looking for the littlest details, right, to pass, right? If everyone's here, that little detail, that little thing that you do extra more, it's going to raise you over the other person, the other employee, get you more recognized. Now, the last lesson wrestling has taught, to me at least, is being able to bounce back, right? I've lost many times, right? And it sucks to lose and just sit there. And I've cried after matches, knowing the little things I could have done to help me win. Should have done this, could have done that, right? It's easy to keep on sinking down into there, right? But you have to be able to pull yourself out of the gutter. You have to be able to get yourself back up so that you can keep moving forward. It's so easy to just sit there and wallow in self-pity and failure, not getting the job, getting fired. You're not going to improve if you stay there. You have to bring yourself up so that you can move forward. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to come natural. Crap. It's not going to be easy, but nothing worth it is. These 3 skills wrestling has taught me and taught many other wrestlers transfer over into our lives to help us become better employees, help us succeed more. And I'm telling you, if you want to just be a little bit higher than the other average, to get that extra boost, join wrestling. Because once you do wrestling, a lot of other things become so much easier compared to wrestling. You learn how to deal with people yelling at you, coaches yelling. You know how to deal with not feeling good and still being asked to perform. You're learning to take up and realize the small things. And you're being able, even when you fail, being able to get back up and keep moving to what you want. Those lessons are crucial to a person's development. Those lessons help escalate us as people.